Thank you so much for joining in. We are live broadcasting for every single one of you. I will flip the camera in a few seconds to explain what is going on, and then I will basically walk for a little bit and show you how the park looks. It has decreased the amount of people that they were right here a few moments ago, but now it has increased again. Share this video, like this video, share this video. Help us out by liking the video, sharing the video. Hit that bell button on YouTube. Hit that like button on Facebook. And also, I believe that we are live at Twitter. It will help a lot if we get more people on the live feed. So a lot of you guys always ask, what can I do, Oscar? How can I contribute? You can contribute by sharing. And also you can contribute by liking the video and sharing the video so we can get that information out there. Thank you, and thank you. Let me flip the camera right here. Let me put myself in the camera. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News, correspondent for Real America's Voice News and the Wendy Bell Radio Network. We are live once again for the second time. We are live right here in the Bicentenario Park in the South Border in Tapachula. For everybody that does not know what is going on right here behind me, more than 7,000 petitions of protection for them to walk freely into our country, in the government, and in our country of Mexico, have been put. These protection orders are basically to see a judge in the city of Mexico, and from there go to the north borders. The majority of these people, the 7,000 petitions, protection orders that they already have been put, this majority of the vast majority, 80 to 90% of this vast majority of people, they want to go to the border of Piedras Negras, Coahuila. That is the border that connects to Eagle Pass and also Acuña. Piedras Negras, Coahuila is the border that connects to Del Rio, Texas, I believe so, or Acuña, the border that connects to Eagle Pass. Those two borders are the number one objectives and the number one target for the vast majority of this population that is waiting to leave on this incoming days. Now, the Institute National Immigration has approached the leader of the caravan and has said to him, we need to sit down, we need to dialogue. If they want the humanitarian visa, let's see how we can give them to them and how we can digest the situation slowly as they can. You know, the thing that the government of Mexico does not want is for them to walk for hundreds and hundreds of miles to get to the United States of America. Ultimately, their number one purpose as they are walking is to come to an agreement with the Institute National Immigration or to whatever governmental, dependency for them to get the visa transit or the humanitarian visa. It is obvious that we have a problem. And it is obvious that this problem has continued for what I have been broadcasting almost 4 years. More than 10 caravans that we have walked and multiple hundreds of thousands of migrants that I have seen enter our country of Mexico. It is a problem that we have an open border, which it is inevitable, it is uncontrollable, the factor that it is never going to stop, because if you have an open border, this massive influx is going to continue. Ultimately, the incentivization by the current administration of Joseph Biden to allow people to suffer as they are migrating to dangerous places as the Darien Gap and also through dangerous countries, which they have suffered rape, violation. A lot of people have died. A lot of kids have passed away due to dehydration and change of the weather. And ultimately also now the kidnapping that is occurring in our country of Mexico, multiple cartels taking over their freedoms and letting them know if they don't join the cartels, that is the number one. You are going to be, held and halted from your journey to go to the United States. The most concerning thing about this mass migration is not the people that they are inside. The majority are from Venezuela and Cuba. It is the majority of the number one problem right here. It is the MS gang as they are expanding. And there are a lot of them, hundreds of them are arriving to our southern border in Mexico. And a lot of them, they have been arrested and also they have been detained. These MS gang members are leaving the country of El Salvador because of Nayib Bukele. Nayib Bukele, the current president of El Salvador, has detained more than 19,000, has imprisoned them, and it is going after this gang to dismantle this gang, as it is a mafia and it is a rotten, root that has been rottening the country of El Salvador. Because of this factor, because of Nayib Bukele going after the people of the MS gangs in El Salvador, a lot of these gang members have been escaping into the north borders of our country, the south borders of our country of Mexico, and ultimately the trickle effect that they want to go to the north borders that connect to the United States of America. Number one thing right here, two things. They're disguising themselves, these MS gang members, as Christians. And also they're disguising themselves as, people that they are merchants, or also that they provide some kind of a, help, humanitarian help for them to get to the north borders. The other concerning thing is a lot of them, they're arriving to our country of Mexico to recruit and to be part of an expansion of this organization, an MS gang, that they are now expanding, and they have been expanding in terms to participating with cartels and also the organized crime. This is a cruel reality. Already the government of Mexico and the agent of intelligence in our south border, they already know about this, and they already know that they need to control this massive flow, not only to digest this massive flow in terms to the MS gang. They are detaining a lot of them. The Department of Justice in Tapachula has detained more than 300 in the past 2 weeks that they have entered the south border of Tapachula, as they have continuously come, and their number one purpose is to go to the United States. This is a problem. Now, this is, if you already have how you are going to resolve an influx this big, and how you are going to know who is who in the caravans or in these massive groups. But not only that, you got infiltrated individuals that we have talked about that for the longest time. But this kind of infiltrated individuals, that is a humongous problem. A lot of them are running away from crimes that they have been committing in their countries. Just recently, last week, one of them was detained that he has a arrest order in El Salvador for rape of a minor. Also, this individual it is wanted in El Salvador for shoplifting and assault with a deadly weapon, and also rape. He was detained, and he was immediately returned back to his country. These kind of individuals are the ones that really the intelligence agency of Mexico needs to stop and needs to put a filter. If we're going to be admitting by the thousands, there needs to be a filter to recognize these kind of individuals, because those kind of individuals are the ones that they put a bad image on people that there are legitimate cases of asylum, and then people that they're running away from fear or cartel persecution or dictatorship. It's a matters of, when it comes to matters of the countries like Venezuela and Cuba. So behind me, you see the park, Bicentenario Park, as a lot of them are coming over here on a Sunday to sign in their petitions, to fill out their petitions, as these petitions that they're being filled out, they are the number one purposes for them to be put in on possibly Monday or Tuesday, that is tomorrow or in 2 days. And from there, see if they're going to walk, and they're going to be continuously protesting all the way to the Institute of National Immigration offices. This has not decreased, and it has not been controlled by the government of Mexico, as it is well known now by our colleague Ben Berquam. It is now known as control flow. This control flow, it is a flow that starts from parts like Central and South American countries. It goes up to the Darien Gap. From there, it travels all the way to countries like Nicaragua, also Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, sometimes, of course, ultimately Guatemala, and from there entering Mexico. This is what it's coming right now. More than 7,000 petitions already been signed. The other day, the first day when I arrived, there was only more than 100 migrants. And I said, it's not going to increase. Possibly it will get to 500 to 600 migrants that they're going to walk, and they're going to possibly do the small caravan. Is going to decrease. And then when they're going to get stopped by the National Guard, it's just going to be stopped. But as we traveled to Tuxtla to do a coverage of 21 of migrants, more than 100 migrants in the capital of Chiapas, that they have been sleeping outside of the installations of the Institute of National Immigration 21 days on a hunger strike. We traveled over there. We received immediately, as we were traveling, you need to return back and you need to broadcast this. We returned back and we broadcast. We only recorded the massive protests and the massive amount of people that they were right here basically waiting to see if they are going to be given the opportunity to move on a humanitarian visa or a visa transit. That is the number one problem. That is the number one obstacle for this a massive, migrant population, as they only want the visa transit and the humanitarian visa. They don't want to stay here. They want to go to the United States of America. That is their number one purpose. And Eagle Pass and also Del Rio, it is their number one entrance into the promised land, what they called it over here, the migrant population. Let me get off the camera and show you and keep showing you how it looks right now at this hour. That is around 10 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Let me see if I can get the time right here. 9:55 Central Time. We are in 9:55 Central Time. Thank you for joining in. God bless every single one of you. We are live from south of the border. The coverage, again, boots on the ground for every single of our viewer and followers and friends. As this continues, and it is just unbelievable to think, a lot of the times we think, when is it going to stop? If there's going to be a time where we're going to come to an agreement that is going to stop. But the number one problem right here, and everybody knows this, it is the United Nations, as they created this globalist compact of immigration, which gives migrants the ability to transport themselves without no restriction into all across the world, or whoever the country signs this globalist compact. And most recently, a document was being released that the United States of America, under the Biden and Harris administration, it is a collaborator of the Globalist Compact of Immigration, which means that the United States is under immigration, under United Nations. The immigration law of the United States is under United Nations command. Basically, if the United Nations says you're violating their humanitarian right, the United States needs to bend the knee and say, we are violating the humanitarian right and we will obey, as Mexico has done, exactly the same, as Canada has done exactly the same, as not only Mexico and Canada, but also other countries as such as Central and South America, Germany. They knew that this was a big problem. They got out of it. France got out of it. Italy got out of it. Denmark got out of it. Switzerland was not even participating in it, due to the fact that they said, you know what, this is a huge problem. We're not going to have the infrastructure to just sustain this. Also, not only that, New Zealand, it is a huge, another country that denied the access and said, you know what, we don't want to be a part of it. You have a lot of countries that they did not want to be a part of this, but ultimately you have countries that they wanted to help and they wanted to provide help for human aid and also humanitarian aid for the migrants, as there's a big problem everybody needs to know. We have a humanitarian crisis. A lot of the people in the United States did not knew how big this humanitarian crisis was until we started seeing this massive influx that it hasn't been stopping, and that it hasn't stopped for quite some time now, and that it is increasing on a daily day basis. So it is. Do we have a problem? Yes, we have a problem. How it is the other thing that is going to come. It is how it is going to be handled. That is resources. United States has a problem right now, apparently, with baby formula. It has a problem with their own resources, and it is incredible how this is increasing by the day. But also another problem is that the United States has been giving money away to these Central and South American countries into the wrong hands. The past president, the 45th president of the United States of America, was the only one in history that actually created a task force that he said, I will give you this amount of money, but I will send a task force to make sure that every cent and every dollar is being well spent and is being well invested on these countries. Which means if I'm giving you $4 million on education, I will send a task force to make sure that those $4 billion are going to be well invested. Which means if the past president, the 45th president, was going to send $6 million for infrastructure in El Salvador, he was going to make sure that those $6 million were going to be well invested, and also ultimately send a task force to make sure what a lot of these, the Biden administration right now is going to do, send $4 billion to Central America. But guess who is sending the money to? NGOs, and non-governmental organizations. And you guys know, as all we know, that a lot of the NGOs, they take advantage of this. They take advantage of the migrant population. They take advantage of the migrant situation. And ultimately, also not only that these NGOs are the funneling for this to continue. So if you're giving $4 billion to NGO, that specifically means that you are going to continue with this massive flow. You're not actually helping the countries in their native countries. You're not investing in capitalist businesses in their countries. You're not helping infrastructure security measures for these people to not leave. So you are creating a dependable country on you. You're not creating a country that it can depend on himself. So this is what one of the congressmen from Guatemala was saying. We want trade. We do not want aid. We want trade. So these countries, what they want is they want to become a first-class world country. They don't want to migrate. They don't want to continue migrating. What they want is to become a first-class world country, and ultimately, not only that, to continue and to enhance and to grow, and to make their citizens profitable citizens, make their citizens that they have talent, become talent in their own country. But ultimately, this administration that is, basically governing right now, this leftist, godless, senseless administration, and when it comes to lawlessness, another one. When it comes to the Biden administration, it is, one of the worst administrations in terms to security of the borders. It is the worst administration in terms to security of the borders, and it's basically letting this continue, and it is incentivizing the most horrific thing, that is incentivizing continuously the organized crime. You're incentivizing the cartels to continue with the enormous trafficking of people. Just yesterday, a couple of days ago, I was in a intersection where it's so important, that is between the states of Oaxaca and the states of Chiapas. Right there on that intersection, I did a hit with Miss Miranda Khan of Real America's Voice News. And I was there for the one particular reason, that is the intersection where more buses and more tractor trailers have been found with amounts of migrants inside of the tractor trailers. This has been a humongous problem, as a lot of them have passed away due to intoxication, due to lack of, of attention, ultimately also suffocation. They have died of all of that because the traffickers, they do not care. They leave them right there on the tractor trailer, and if they know that they're going to get busted, they do not care on releasing all the migrants behind the tractor trailer, so they escape. The driver escapes. This kind of situation has been happening on a continuous and a daily basis. And it is a non-stop trafficking business. And it is a humongous multi-billion business. Just yesterday, on Thursday, on this past Thursday, the leader of the caravan and the pillar of, of the unification of this massive group of influx of migrants, Luis Villagran, told us the number one problem and the only one that is profiting out of this, it is the traffickers and the human smugglers. They are the only ones that they're profiting out of this. They are the only ones that they're getting advantage out of this. They are the only ones, nobody else. The migrants, some of them, they're coming from vulnerable countries, with dictatorship countries, with communist and leftist countries. And these countries, they are pushing their own people to leave their own countries. They're not doing anything to to make their country better, to get their government straight in terms to, releasing funds to create a better infrastructure, to create better housing, to create, better jobs, better opportunities. They're not doing anything about that. But the only thing that they're doing is to push their people out. And as they're pushing their people out, the only one that is benefiting out of this, when it starts migrating, when it starts the migration factor, it is the organized crime. They're the only ones that they are profiting out of this. And, and the Biden administration, it is part of this situation. A lot of the people are saying, Oscar, Mexico is not doing anything about it. Mexico has stopped multiple caravans, but also they're admitting and they have an open border. They have an open border because it is clear that it is obvious that this administration of AMLO has a clear agreement with the Biden administration in terms to the globalist compact of immigration and in terms to open borders. They have a clear agreement that they need to let migrants come into the borders of South, the border of Mexico, and ultimately the northern borders into the United States of America. And also it's a domino effect when it comes to Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Venezuela, as we have walked with more than 10 caravans, and we have seen this continue and continue and continue. AMLO, it is possibly, in my eyes, the worst president in history. He just most recently, he made it more obvious that he's under cartel, dictatorship. The cartels are the ones that are running our country. When he made a statement on a morning conference saying that the leaders of the cartels also need to be protected because they have humanitarian rights. Also, that practically tells you the truth about how our country is being governed, about who is governing our country, who's taking the decisions in our country. And ultimately, it is a reality. Mexico, it is run by the organized crime. It is run by the cartels, and it is a full-on corruption, full in effect on corruption in our country. So thank you so much for joining in. Let me, almost 25 minutes into this live feed. We have done multiple interviews. I am going to upload a video for people to share. We did some B-roll video and also some photograph. Let me just flip the camera right here to say goodbye to you. It's getting hot, and I'm in the middle of a place where it's really hot. Where are you going, tripod? Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News, correspondent for Real America's Voice News and the Wendy Bell Radio Network. We are live at south of the border in the Bicentenario Park in Tapachula, where more than 7,000 migrants have put a petition of protection claim for them to walk freely without being interrupted by no governmental or dependency of Mexico. This tells you that this massive caravan, if they don't come to an agreement with the Institute of National Immigration of Mexico, they will be arriving into the north borders in the next incoming days. Specifically, they have said Piedras Negras, Coahuila, and also Del Rio, Texas. Those are the two borders that they want to arrive, that they want to go, and that they want to enter as they are going to claim asylum in the next incoming days. There's going to be a massive flow. Title 42 has not been an obstacle for the migrant population to stop. And it does not even matter if it was blocked or it was lifted. If it was lifted, it would have been 2 times bigger, the amount of people that they will be right now in this plaza, but it was not lifted. And you see the amount of people that, regardless of Title 42 being lifted or not, you have a huge amount of people, waiting to enter the United States of America in terms to asylum and refugee claim. I will be live later on this afternoon giving you guys an update. Let's see if the leader of the caravan is going to come right here to the plaza and speak. If not, we will see them. I will talk to you guys later on this afternoon, and basically give you guys another update later on this afternoon about what is really happening over here in terms of this. God bless you all. Stay safe, and like we always say, peace and love, everybody, because always your country first. Follow my partner, Real Anthony Agüero, on all platforms. Ben Bergquan from Frontline America, also Real America's Voice News. Download the app; it is free. You can find us at Roku, Hulu. Also, you can download the app Wendy Bell Radio Network. It is free. Go to the App Store. It is free. Follow that and download that. You can follow me at Facebook, YouTube, Telegram, Twitter, and Getter as Oscar L. Blue. Also on Instagram as Oscar Blue Media and Oscar Blue Team. God bless you all. Stay safe. And like we always say, peace and love, because always your country's first. God bless.